Hey everyone, Manny with ESTNN. I am joined by Svenskeren, jungler for Cloud9. Sad loss today, but how are you feeling with Cloud9 starting off the summer split after week 3?
I feel like right now as a team we're definitely one of the stronger teams in the league, but obviously we have stuff to work on. So as long as we keep working at a pretty fast rate, like towards playoffs, we still have a long time. So hopefully we can just keep improving until playoffs.
Right, and obviously today you played against TSM. Is that one of those things where like you still feel very heated rivalry because they were your old org, or has it been enough time that it's kind of like, oh, you've only really played with Bjergsen at this point, like, has it changed much, or is it still there?
My rivalry with TSM has definitely changed. Like right after, then obviously it's a lot more heated and more competitive, I guess. But right now, TSM is just like kind of like any other team to me. It's just that I really want to beat Bjergsen, I guess. So I guess my rivalry with Bjergsen is more higher than what it is to TSM.
Right. And, we've seen obviously a lot of changes in the meta. A lot of junglers are known for the Sejuani duty, Skarner duty. What kind of like do you feel about the meta, especially with as many changes as we've seen to the jungle?
I think it's just since the Scrabble doesn't spawn as early, the jungle is less snowballing, so you can afford to get away with like picking stuff that's stronger like level 3 and level 6, because you get 6 faster just full clearing right now. So level 2 junglers kind of fell out of the meta because there's just not enough to do in the map at level 2, so that's just why the game is slowed down more in terms of the jungle meta.
Right, and what would you say like all-time favorite champion to pick? No matter what meta, no matter what would you say is your go-to?
Probably my favorite champ is Lee Sin. He's always been my most played, like every single season. I haven't played him that much in competitive the last year, or like while I was Cloud9, because I feel like he just hasn't been that strong in such a strong state compared to like if the enemy team picks Sejuani while you have Lee Sin, it's like he like kind of outduels me at any point in the game, and he's more useful. So it's just like hard to win the game. Like you just handicap yourself by picking a pick. So yeah, I mean definitely Lee Sin is the most fun.
Right. So you've obviously had a lot of experience in international tournaments, with TSM, like Cloud9, and how do you feel like you've grown since starting, and how does it feel also to be able to really push yourself when you go to like an international stage?
I mean, I've definitely changed a lot since I was on TSM. I think on C9 I've had to push myself a lot more in order to improve, rather than on TSM where I just had so like good leaders on the team that I was just a follower, so I didn't really have to do much. I just had to make sure I didn't get outplayed like in my own respective role. But on Cloud9 I've had to improve more as a person and like just be a louder voice.
Yeah. It's fine. So, obviously we've had a lot of changes, and, like you were saying, like within the team even, like team structure, it's different. How do you feel about like sometimes like having to share like a spot? Like yesterday Blabber played instead of you. Like, do you think that's something that should be affecting junglers, people in general, or is it something that will always push you to be like the best you can be?
I think having a sharing spot it's like very good in terms of improvement. It might be like you get less practice as a team, so I think some teams are like scared of doing it because you don't get as much practice as the other teams with just like sharing. But it definitely pushes people to like play harder, like more decide to win. Like you don't get lazy and like slack off because otherwise you might not get to play at all. So it's definitely healthy, I think.
Right, and we've seen NA improving, the past few years, like internationally. Do you think it was kind of like a one-off thing, or do you think actually like the region has been getting better and they can actually start challenging internationally?
I think just as long as the region doesn't keep making excuses about like communication and stuff and just actually go for plays. I think in the past a lot of the weaknesses of NA has been that they just wait to just lose on the international, whereas right now the meta has been very fast at MSI and Worlds, where if you're not taking the early fights, you just straight up lose. Like you can't just scale, which a lot of NA teams just love to do. Like just pick for scaling and just wait for the enemy team to throw. But like you just take Baron at 20 minutes and the game's over. So yeah, definitely as long as NA keeps trying to play fast and not just sit back and scale, then I don't see why NA has to be worse than the other regions.
Right. Do you have any tips for the solo queue warriors out there, whether they play jungle or they're trying to find that way to climb?
Probably a good tip is if you're playing jungle, slash mute all, and if you get triggered by people whining in low elo for sure, people complain about the jungle all the time, and if I had to endure that, then I'll have to mute all.
Yeah, of course.
I would be chatting shit.
Yeah, of course. And any last messages you want to give to your fans out there?
Just thanks for supporting us, guys. Thank you.